Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network.
In my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of seen as unconscionable, and it's un-American.
I'm wondering what you made the president's choice of words there.
Well, listen, again, those were strong words, and I don't agree that we should call Trump supporters trash either. That's not right.
Steph, it's only 7 days till Joe Biden gets to go full Bullworth. I can't wait. I'm here for it.
He's already started.
Yeah,
Yay.
well,
He's
yeah,
already
he
started.
has.
He has.
He went partial Bullworth, but he's got 1 week to go.
I was going to say, in the basket of deplorables, she was being too kind. So, anyway, I know.
I have so many conservative Christians offended by what Joe Biden said. He clarified right away that he was talking about the racists that the conservative Christians are not offended by, just like they're not offended by Donald Trump calling Americans scum or a trash can. It's a good day to be a sane American.
John, you are the guy to talk about this whole thing. Because first of all, so a day after demanding Americans stop getting offended by everything, J.D. Vance melts down over Biden comment. So J.D. Vance had said of this horrible, racist hate fest at Madison Square Garden, I'm not going to comment on the specifics of the joke, but I think we have to stop getting so offended at every little thing in the United States of America. I'm so over it.
Yeah.
So then he said... of Joe Biden's, he said, this is really disgusting. Kamala Harris and her boss, Joe Biden, are attacking half the country. First of all, Kamala Harris didn't say anything. Right? Okay. And I'm not running against Joe Biden anymore. So I
easily offended Nazis, Steph. I call them Weinkampf. Easily offended Nazis.
That's good.
This is why he's John Fugelsang and you're not.
That's right.
People. Okay. But I mean,
You know who's not offended is Alina Habba. She had a great time at that rally.
she did. Oh my God. Did you see that? Her
God.
dancing?
Dancing.
God.
Dance like your client doesn't owe $83 million because you lost the sex abuse case and $467 billion because you lost the real estate fraud case. Dance, white girl, dance.
She is like the worst lawyer in the world, by the way.
Worst
Alina
lawyer.
Habba.
Bless you.
Thank you. I love Molly Jong Fast said, I would have hired a normal lawyer who doesn't dance but could maybe do law.
Maybe.
Yeah, you had so much great stuff on the threads. You said the party that does nothing to stop mass shootings, climate change, and income inequality promises swift action against drag queen story hour. I mean, this is how ridiculous this party has become, right?
Yeah, but it's all okay because Steve Bannon's out of jail, Steffi. So now the
I
comedy
know.
is back. Comedy's back in time for Election Day, and alcohol is terrified of getting Steve Bannon poisoning once more. How did he gain weight in jail? How do you do that?
I urge people to get their gout and herpes medication before there's a run on them.
Oh
And also
my God,
shirts.
the man. He looks like an infected toe.
He
I'm
does?
Just worried about him. I'm worried about him. He looks like gout that caught gout. We worry about Steve Bannon.
I was going to set you up for all the Steve Bannon jokes, but you went ahead without me. That's fine. Yeah. Does he look like an alcoholic, Thom?
Oh my God! Yes, he does. Honestly, we just worry because he looks like the guy at the strip club that the girls ask the bouncer to keep an extra eye on. You know what I mean?
Just don't let him touch me.
He looks like a guy who's forced to knock on doors when he moves to a new neighborhood. We're just worried about Steve Bannon's health because he
And by
looks
the
like
way-
a guy was up all night watching porn till 6:45 and his alarm was set for 7. He just doesn't look well. We're just worried.
And speaking, and perfect for the whiny little bitch party, he said that he's a political prisoner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, okay, what else did he say? He said he's urged Trump to declare victory immediately if his totals look similar to 2020, because of course he did. He should stand up and say, hey, I won this, and we have teams right now that are going to make sure this thing is not going to be stolen. And then he said, the second thing we have to do is make sure they cannot steal the election with Mark Elias. I see. Who's trying to stop them from stealing the election. But you see
Flood the zone, baby. Flood the zone. Yeah, it's great that he's back.
Yeah. He said, hang on, sorry. I can tell you I'm coming in from being a political prisoner in a federal prison, and that the young men in this country that are African American, Hispanic American, they detest Kamala Harris. They detest her. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Because
he's
they're
been
all
in
in
jail.
prison, and they're all your friends
Yeah.
from prison, because everybody that's...
He had never talked to black or Latino men before. Now he knows. It turns out
so gross.
Black and Latino
Oh.
men in jail don't like prosecutors. Who
he,
knew?
He also said Nancy Pelosi sent him to prison. So
No, she
okay.
didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad he's
Okay.
back.
Okay.
And by the way, I just want more Steve Bannon. I want you to think of his face whenever you see Donald Trump. That's why I'm starting a GoFundMe to make Tony Hinchcliffe open every Trump rally between now and Election Day. More Tony Hinchcliffe. More.
I mean, John, I was saying this, but this is how sexy liberal started in a way, right? Like we punch, up at the fascists, not down at people that are
that's
different.
it.
And we've been doing this, just selling out theaters for 13 years. Like this hate fest, because
Yeah.
Jen Kirkman was on yesterday saying how there's obviously sadly a market for it. This guy, he's
Look,
known for this kind of racist stuff. They knew exactly who he was.
This is what he does. And again, there's a kind of comedy with this ironic racism, right? Where you're doing it for your friends. Everyone knows in the back of the room you don't mean it. You're doing it for shock value, and they laugh based on how well the joke is constructed. And again, I'm not here to judge this kind of comedy. A lot of my friends do it. I get it. We've all seen comics we love get away with telling racist or sexist jokes, and they don't really mean it. And Don Rickles did it all the time. This was not that.
Yeah.
This was not that at all. You do that in a small room for the guys at the back, and it's ironic because they know you don't mean it. You don't do that material on stage for an audience full of racists. And this was the grand finale of the Trump campaign, and it was brilliant that he did it because he let them know exactly what they're about. And I'm proud to say that maybe, just maybe, a comedian is changing the outcome of an election.
I know. I said yesterday, John, how great will that be if after everything, a comedian is what brings him down.
Puerto Rico's largest newspaper endorsed Kamala Harris after this. The Archbishop of San Juan is demanding Trump apologize. The head of the Republican Party in Puerto Rico, because they are all American citizens, has said he won't vote for Donald Trump. Bad Bunny. They finally got Geraldo off the Trump train with this one, and now J-Lo's going to do an appearance with her. More Tony Hinchcliffe, please. Let him wear a hood the next time. And let me just say one thing.
And
This
it
is why,
wasn't just him. The whole thing was a
just him, but
sexist,
he was the
racist.
comedian. He was the comedian. And again, I get it, but first off, the joke has to be funny. And his jokes were crap. Trying to make ejaculation and immigration the same thing, it was a weak joke. But remember, the Trump campaign read this, took out one joke they didn't like,
Yes.
vetted the rest, and put it all into the teleprompter. They signed off on this. And if you want to know why Tony's full of crap on this one, he ended his set by going pious. He ended his set by saying, all I know is God already voted 3 months ago. A reference to God sparing Donald Trump's life. Yeah. Now, that's not just blasphemous, saying God wanted the poor bastard behind Trump to catch a bullet and die in front of his kids. It's so evil. Yeah. But it's also showing that Tony Hinchcliffe was not just out there telling jokes.
Yeah.
And he said, I make fun of everybody. There were no jokes about white people, no jokes about conservative people, no jokes about Trump or himself. It was Jews, Puerto Ricans, Muslims, and black folks.
Yeah.
It was the crappiest kind of lame, lazy comedy, and we have to get him on stage with Donald Trump more. It's important.
Exactly.
Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. I hope you'll join me on my new audio podcast, Justice Matters. I'll be using my 30 years as a federal prosecutor and Army JAG to unpack, break down, and explain the legal issues of the day, particularly where the legal intersects with the political. Please look for Justice Matters with Glenn Kirshner wherever you generally get your podcasts.